The Palmetto Trail, South Carolina's premier hiking and backpacking trail that spans the entire distance of the state with over 380 miles of completed trails. Established in 1994, the Palmetto Trail currently consists of 31 passages, or sections, with several new ones currently in the works, and once complete will be nearly 500 continuous miles from the East Coast to the Blue Ridge Mountains on the western side of the state. For me, the Palmetto Trail serves as a winter backpacking destination to escape the cold winter conditions of Ohio, and 1 year prior to this trip, I backpacked 120 miles on the first 5 passages of the Palmetto Trail, starting on the East Coast, on the Awendaw Passage, to the end of the Santee Passage. So if you're looking for information on those first 5 passages, you can find the links to that 2-part series in the description below. Before beginning this year's 130-mile-long journey from the Santee Town Hall, my friend and I had met up at our ending location in the town of Newberry to leave our pickup vehicle, and we also made a quick stop at our halfway point at the Fort Jackson trailhead to hang our resupply bags. In this 3-part series, I'm picking up right where I left off at the Santee Town Hall, and we'll cover the next 7 passages and 130 miles, including the new Boyd Passage currently under construction that will connect the Wateree and Fort Jackson passages. Episode 1 will showcase the Lake Marion and High Hills of Santee passages. I have added chapters with timestamps so you can quickly and easily jump ahead if you are searching for information on a particular passage that we hiked. Alright, it's time to get hiking. Thank you so much for joining me for this week-long adventure on the beautiful Palmetto Trail. Welcome back, folks, to my 3rd annual backpacking trip in the South. Once again, I'm back here at the Palmetto Trail, picking up where I left off last year at the Santee Town Hall. So it's already 4:15. We were hoping to get 14 miles in on trail. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight.
We're going 14 miles.
We're going to have to go night hiking with this guy.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for coming along, guys. Let's get moving. All right, here we go. Check out Leonidas here, guys. Mr. Ultralight of Ultralight, with his brand new Topo Ultra Venture 3s.
Right.
Tell me about this pack and what your weight is.
So this is the new Ultra 100 version of the Z-Packs Sub-Nero. It's 30 liters, 10.5 ounces, I think it's 10.5 with the 1-inch webbing belt added. And my weight for this trip with our 3 days of food and water, I'm at 17.95 pounds.
To me, you look like an FKT machine right there, ready to take on part of the Pinhoti.
Right. That is the purpose of the pack. This is going to be hopefully my new FKT pack. So we're giving it a run through the ringer out here this 150 miles, see how it holds up, see how it carries. And
I really like that pack. I'm coming in at around, with water and food all in, I'm probably 25, 26 at least. So a little heavier than I like. Here we are coming up on the 301 bridge. It's currently closed, under construction, but I have heard that they are allowing hikers to get through. So this 301 bridge crosses Lake Marion, and this way it eventually turns into the diversion canal, I believe, and goes into Lake Moultrie. A perfect time to cross the 301 bridge because it is after 5 o'clock and I believe the workers are all finished for the day. I'm glad we didn't skip this bridge.
I know.
Love crossing big spans like this. It's a big body of water right there. Shaping up to have a pretty nice sunset over the lake here. I'm wishing we were over there somewhere camping to be able to watch it, but we have almost 10 miles ahead of us yet. We made it across the 301 bridge. Still got a little bit of daylight. I'm hoping we're heading into the woods here shortly. So from the Santee Town Hall to across the 301 bridge is 4.5 miles. That is pretty. Finally, after 7 miles, we are here at Trail Junction for the Palmetto Trail. This is what I've been waiting for. Get off the road and into the woods. We just missed the sunset. You can see that red glow up ahead there over Lake Marion. Gorgeous. I know you can't see anything right now. It's about 6:30 at night. We're at mile 9, heading to mile 14. But we just decided to turn our lights off. And I know you can't see the stars, but trust me, they're out. They're beautiful. You know, a lot of people don't like night hiking. And it's not like I search out night hikes. But now we're out on this road and you can just turn your light off and enjoy the darkness and the stillness, the calmness. It's a pretty cool feeling. Currently at mile 12. Coming up on Carolina King here real soon. Lots of friendly neighborhood dogs in the area. We made it to Carolina King here about mile 14 and a quarter. And they had water. So we filled up our water bottles and our dirty bags, found a picnic table under the night light, enjoying our Subway from Santee. Italian BMT, if you're wondering. We found camp, mile 15.1 on our watches, but that was after going down to Carolina King. Oh, this is a beauty. 3 brand new benches and a picnic table, and look at that fire ring. Wow. All right, this is home for tonight. I am very glad to be at camp. Time to get the duplex set up, and we'll see you guys in the morning for day 2. Good morning here on day 2. Just about have camp broke down. Finishing up our coffee and breakfast. You don't drink coffee, do you, Leonidas?
Nope.
It's a bad habit, I guess, when I'm out camping. Man, I really enjoy my coffee around camp. It looks like it's going to be gorgeous today. I think it's going to be a little hot. We're hoping to get on trail here in a few minutes, just shortly after 7 o'clock, and knock out about a 30-mile day of this Lake Marion Passage and beyond. That looks just like the turtle shell I saw last year. I found one on last year's trail about twice as big. Now it's starting to flake apart.
Yeah, it's starting to flake. Well, all the edge of it's
it's gone.
already gone.
It's been pretty wet through here. Yeah. Leonidas is giving up. He can't stay dry because he didn't bring trekking poles.
Nah, even if I had them, it wouldn't matter.
So far, I'm staying fairly dry, but the water's definitely receding. Glad we weren't here a couple days ago. This was all under inches of water. We were told that mile 14 through 16, approximately, give or take, the trail was going to be mostly underwater. But so far, I've been able to skirt around it pretty well. So maybe the water's receding by now a little bit, or the wet spots are still to come, because we're only at like mile 15, so we may have another mile of this to deal with. Leonidas is taking the plunge. I'm not giving up so easy. Oh man, come on. Well, I finally had to bite the bullet. There was no way around. Oh well, not the end of the world. Kind of feels good. Some of these boardwalks look fairly new. And just wanted to mention that Marie Butler, the trail coordinator for this section, she's the coordinator for all the low country sections up to this one, Lake Marion Passage. They do a fantastic job of keeping the trail maintained and working with volunteers like Eagle Scouts and things like that to get these boardwalks built for us hikers. So it's much appreciated. Thank you, Marie Butler. We're chasing an armadillo. He's underneath. He's right underneath our feet. There he is. He's coming out. Man, they can move.
And charging at us to give us leprosy.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't realize how fast those things could run. Holy mackerel. He was moving. I thought they were slow like possums, but I was wrong. Now that is a pretty piece of property right there. Beautiful cabin right on a big pond. On a nice, easy forest road currently at around mile 20 on the Lake Marion Passage, and it is getting warm. Definitely feels like upper 60s, starting to sweat a little bit. But I'm just glad it's a beautiful day out here on the Palmetto Trail. Is this a wild boar? They got hit on the road? Holy moly. Oh yeah, he's got
head's cut off.
Full of maggots.
Yep. I bet yeah,
wow.
Somebody cut his head off.
That is a big one.
Split open probably from all the nast. I
don't smell them. That's good. Now we're here on a 2-mile road walk currently. Making our way towards the end of the Lake Marion Passage here in about 5 miles. Must be a popular crossing for wild boar. I've never seen one that color. Almost like a little piglet. We have arrived to Pax Landing. We're hoping this is going to be a good stop to take a little break, get a little snack. We're about 10.5 miles in currently. Yeah, we'll get fueled up a little bit before tackling our next 10 miles. And we're hoping to get at least 30 in the day. It's not even 11 o'clock, so we got plenty of time. Taking a little break here at Pax Landing. A few snacks, getting fueled up for the next 10 miles. Well, that was a nice little stop at Pax Landing. Now we got a couple more miles to Sparkleberry Landing. Huh, what do you think that is?
I don't know.
It almost looks like a fish cleaning station. It's just leaning up against the tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was thinking if you were trying to make some lunch or something, it'd be a good table to just...
Yeah, for sure. All right, we have made it to mile 28 campsite. This is the one we heard a lot of information about being a good campsite. I mean, I guess it's nice because it's right on the water, but that's pretty nasty water right there. Huh. Not really too many camping options right here. I think I like our site last night just as much as this one.
I don't see that there's any difference to the site we were at versus this one, to be honest, except that one we were at actually had more room to set up in.
Yeah, this one's...
And you've got like a tent. You can tell somebody put a tent right there.
Right. You could hang a hammock in here, I'm sure. All right, onward to Sparkleberry Landing. What is this? Elevation.
We're climbing something.
Our first 15
switchback. A freaking switchback.
I can't believe it. Wow. They give us a massive switchback for 25 feet of elevation. I think these are cypress trees out here. They got like a blue hue. Kind of almost a teal color on them. Pretty neat.
I wonder if it's some kind of fungus.
Yeah, it might be. We just popped out of the woods. There's the little kiosk, Sparkleberry to Pax. Need some water. Oh, time for some water. Gotta get some sweat off this nasty shirt. That's gonna feel good. The wheat is awfully green down here in South Carolina. On this little sandy road for a while after leaving Sparkleberry. Unbelievable amounts of trash along some of the banks here in South Carolina. It's so sad. There he goes. Wow. This is the third one. They're up in the clouds. They are moving. There he is.
He's way up there compared to
Yeah, he's a lot higher. Just a few more miles to Mill Creek County Park, I think that's what it's called, and the end of the Lake Marion Passage and the beginning of the high hills of Santee. All right, back off the road amongst the pines once again for our final 3.5 miles to Mill Creek County Park.
I thought it was a
Man, this might be my favorite section of the trail so far. But I'm glad it's not time to find a stealth camp in that impenetrable pine forest. Wow. Just found a pretty cool sign. We are officially 150 miles from the coast. Mill Creek Park, 1.5 miles. Check out this snake, guys. Ah! Just about ready to wrap up the Lake Marion Passage here any moment. All right, we have officially arrived at Mill Creek County Park. And I think there's restroom facilities here. Trash cans. Water, yes. Okay. That might be good. They're actually looking for a picnic table right now so we can get some food out. Take a load off. There's one up there. I don't know if it's someone's campsite or not. All right, we are exiting Mill Creek County Park. And this is the conclusion of the Lake Marion Passage. The high hills of Santee Passage begins right up here ahead. And we still got about 9 more miles to go tonight. We're trying to get close to 30 miles. So we're going to tackle a good chunk of this high hills of Santee and then start looking for a campsite right before dark. Peanut butter and jelly wrap for a late lunch, afternoon snack. We are walking out of Mill Creek County Park, looking for the beginning of the high hills of Santee. I think it's right here. Found me a nice one. The biggest ones I've seen so far. Less than 1 mile in on the high hills passage. Man, this is pretty. Love all these pine trees and pine cones. This might be the prettiest spot I've seen so far. That is like a hammock hanger's dream in there. Man, that is beautiful. If I can ever own a piece of property in the Carolinas someday, I want it to look like that. The sand is a little difficult to walk in. It takes a little more energy. It's like beach sand right here. Fortunately, we've exited the deep sand. We're about 5.5 miles in on the High Hills Passage. This is a lot better. But I haven't filmed much here because it's been a lot of open, clear-cut areas, and you know, it's still pretty in its own unique way, but doesn't have the beauty that I have come to know and love here on the Palmetto Trail. And we're getting worn out. Sometimes it's hard to film when you're tired and hurting. Coming up on mile 26 here, we're hoping to get close enough to get into Poinsette State Park here in the next hour and a half or so. Whoa! We've had a prescribed burn in here, it looks like. This might be more than a prescribed burn. This could have been a forest fire, because I think these trees are pretty scorched. Daggone.
Well, definitely won't be camping in here.
No.
So, definitely got to keep pushing.
We're going to really try to push on to Poinsette. We're both worn out and ready to quit here anytime, but you know, we're not camping in this, and we're both getting low on water, so we're almost forced to go to Poinsette. We're hoping we can find a little shortcut into the campground area, because there's like 3 miles of zigzaggy, windy trails within the park that you have to go through. But we're going to try to skip that tonight and just get into the park before it gets too dark. And then tomorrow morning we'll come back out and finish those miles that we skipped. Another beautiful section about 5.5, 6 miles in on the High Hills Passage. I was just telling Leonidas that if I had water, I'd be ready to stop in this area right here at Stealth Camp. in these pines because I love them so much. Nice soft pine duff. Makes me wish I had my hammock. Looks like we're on our final hour of daylight. I'm pretty sure we're not going to make it to Poinsette before that sun goes down, but it'll be close. All right, we just got off trail. Right up the hill to the left there. I forgot to film it. And we have about a half-mile walk down to Park Road, make a left, and a half-mile walk up into the campground loop at Poinsette State Park. We are going to beat the sunset, I think. It's going to be close. But we're at mile marker 8 on the High Hills Passage. So tomorrow morning, we'll be coming right back up this hill and pick back up where we left off and finish off these 3.5-4 miles of the high hills before entering Wateree. So we just came down off the hill about a half-mile back, and we're on State Park Road now here at Poinsette State Park. Leah and I has told me that we should be sleeping in there and save us a half-mile walk in the morning because we got water right down there. I can hear it flowing. All right, so there's been a little change of plans. We made our way up to what we believed was the campground. It was the cabin section. So we still had over a 1.5 mile walk to the RV campground behind me. And we started walking there, and then we saw this beautiful water source, and we were like, you know what? Let's filter water, let's camel up, and go right back up to where we got off the trail, the actual passage, and set up camp there. So that's what we're doing. Just coming up on 30 miles right now. We are beat. So if you come off trail at the Poinsette State Park entrance sign, that way, just a 1/4 mile, you come to this little day use pay area, and up the hill are the cabins, not the campground. If I just would have read the sign a little closer and listened to Leonidas, we wouldn't have made a half-mile mistake. I wouldn't have made a half-mile mistake. So we only got like a half mile, 3/4 of a mile back up to where we left the High Hills Passage, and that's where we'll get camp set up. But the sunset beat us. It won. That's all right. At least it's not pitch black. I am absolutely starving, and on the menu tonight is one of my favorites, sweet pork and rice from Peak Refuel. And for my appetizer, some salty, spicy sriracha and wasabi peas. Crunchy. Well, we ended up having a pretty big day, about 30.5 miles. I'm glad to be at camp. It's about 7 p.m. Just getting my Peak Refuel going here. We're actually a little ahead of schedule. I did not quite expect to get to Poinsette State Park, so we're doing good, but we're both tired and a little sore, and hoping we recover well during this night's rest because we need it. We got another big day tomorrow. Well, guys, I'm going to enjoy my Peak Refuel and lay down and take a load off and hopefully fall asleep quickly and maybe get 8 hours of sleep. We're going to wake up at 6 a.m., get everything packed up, and be on the trail by 7 a.m. We'll see you then. And we're off on day 3 on the Palmetto Trail. We have maybe 4 miles or less to finish up the high hills of Santee Passage. Then we'll be moving on through the Wateree Passage and then onto the road walk on 601, heading up towards the Cook Mountain area. Now, we realize that passage is under construction and not completed yet, but we have decided to make our way through there. Hopefully we can find some flagged areas, some areas that have been completed, and we're going to make our way through that passage before heading into Fort Jackson later on today. Now, actually, we'll probably end up in the Cook Mountain area tonight, I'm guessing. I haven't crunched the mileage. I doubt we'll make it into Fort Jackson today. That'll be tomorrow. So it's shaping up to be a beautiful day again.
Feels like a little less humidity. A high of only 70 today, so I like that. Good hiking weather. If you were wondering about the road walks between the passages, we have decided to do those because of the trail being somewhat disjointed and not completely connected as a complete through hike. I know some of the sections do have lengthy road walks, but we have decided to connect them all. I want to walk every step of the Palmetto Trail and the road walks connecting the passages. Got a glorious sunrise happening right now. Really nice, easy trail right here. The problem is this section of trail just below Poinsette State Park just zigzags back and forth. You feel like you're walking in circles. On our final half mile of the high hills. This must be the campground lake area. I see some paddle boats over there. Very pretty. All right, we have officially completed the High Hills Passage, and straight ahead is the Wateree Passage. 11.4 miles to Farmstead Road, where we will exit the woods and get on to 601. And when we arrive to 601 at Farmstead Trailhead, supposedly Marie Butler will be leaving a water cache for us, so that'll be nice not to have to filter water.
In the next episode along the Palmetto Trail, after completing the high hills of Santee Passage, we began our trek through the Wateree Passage, enjoying the many trestles along the remnants of the old South Carolina Railroad. After finishing the Wateree Passage, we stocked up on some water left for us by Marie Butler, got some trail intel from another trail coordinator, Jamie Turner, and we were off to attempt the not yet finished Boyd Passage. We finally found a great camping spot for the night, but knew we were going to wake up to some very cold temperatures.
We're currently leaving camp. It's about 31 degrees. It's pretty cold this morning.
We then made a quick stop at Cook's Mountain to enjoy some views before finishing off the remainder of the Boyd Passage. After picking up our resupply bags at the beginning of the Fort Jackson Passage, we were unfortunately denied entry into the base for the final 5 miles.
Since it's Saturday, we can't get in Gate 5. They only let outgoing traffic, people coming out of Fort Jackson on Saturdays. You can't go in.
And finally arriving in Columbia and passing the halfway point of our journey along the beautiful Palmetto Trail.